Hello, student org leaders, and welcome to your online training. My name is Joanne Wright, and I'm with Operations Division Planning and Administration, and I'm going to show you how to request rooms for your student organization through the Ad Astra scheduling platform. To start off, we want to show you the home page. You'll notice we have some holidays and announcements listed here for every school year. And importantly, I want to let you know that student organizations are able to start requesting for the next semester's events the day after finals end for the previous term. So for example, the day after finals end for summer, you can start requesting for your fall events. And after fall finals or exams are over, you can start requesting for the spring semester. Now you're going to get to Ad Astra using the link aaiscloud.com/txtechu. You can see that in the browser on my screen. Now, once you get there, it's probably still going to say sign in at the top right. You can just ignore that. It just means you have guest access, but you're still going to be able to do everything you need to. Now, to start requesting your event, you're going to click on the Events tab at the top and then click Request Event. From there, the screen will load a pull-down menu and you'll select student organizations from the drop-down list. After that, you're going to click on Next, and the screen is going to change to the Request Event form. So we have some information at the top about the spaces that can and cannot be requested using this request form. We also have some links to our frequently asked questions and to our events homepage. Next, we have some rules for student groups. If you click the link here in blue, you can read over those, and then you'll select whether you agree or disagree with the rules. This is a required field, as is everything with an asterisk. So now you're going to type in your organization's full name. We do ask for the full name that is registered with Center for Campus Life. Please don't use acronyms. Sometimes we have staff members who are not familiar with acronyms, and using your complete name ensures that we're able to find your organization and verify that you're registered and have completed your risk management training. Both active registration and risk management training must be completed prior to scheduling in academic classrooms. If you're unsure if you have registered and completed your risk management requirements, you can click here to verify your organization's registration status. Now, before we move on, I just want to stress that student organizations must reserve the space for their organizations. It should never be done by the advisor of the group or anyone from the student's college. It must be submitted by the leadership of the student organization themselves. Something to remember. So next on the form, we're going to ask for your organization's president's information. This is going to be their name, their email address, and their phone number. And then next, we're going to ask for your information as the requester. So you'll give us your name, your position in the organization, your email address, and your phone number. And then lastly, we're going to ask for your advisor's information. Again, this is going to be their name, the department they work with, their email address, and their phone number. Okay. Now from here, we're going to move on to the actual event information. You're going to give your event a name here. And then you're going to select event type as student from this drop-down box. And then you come down here to event details and give us a brief description of your event. And now moving on to event specifics, tell us the maximum number of attendees that you expect to have. And from there, we have a couple of checkboxes for you to review. If you're going to have food at your event, click here. Please be mindful when you start to choose your rooms, which buildings do and do not allow food before selecting your rooms. And we'll get to that. If you choose a room that does not allow food, we will contact you and can provide guidance on another room for you to use. If your event is a program for minors, there are some rules that you need to read here. If you're going to show a movie or a film, here are some rules regarding that. And then lastly, if you're going to have any therapy dogs in attendance, there are some rules regarding therapy dogs on campus that you'll need to know about. Next, we're going to move on to how to add the actual meeting itself. You're going to click on the Add Meeting button. From here, you'll notice that we can create single, multiple, or reoccurring meetings. Now, single meetings are pretty self-explanatory. You can see here they occur in 30-minute increments. That's the default. So be sure to change that if you want a meeting longer than 30 minutes. Then you're going to select your start and end time. Student organizations can request academic classes during the weekday, never on weekends, starting at 6 a.m., and they must be completed by 10 p.m. And we don't allow spanning meetings that go overnight, so make sure your start and your end date are the same. Very important to remember that student organizations cannot reserve academic classroom spaces throughout Astra on weekends or campus holidays, and your request will get declined. And then here you can give your meeting a name if it's different than your event. And after you're satisfied, you can click Add Meeting, and it's going to show up down here under the Add Meeting button that we checked. If you would like to do multiple meetings, this does not have to follow any set of pattern. So you could select Tuesday one week and then every day the following week. What does need to follow a pattern would be the time. These meetings would all occur during the same time. So maybe this meeting comes from 8 to 9 on various dates. Then we use this arrow to add the meetings. We're going to give our grouping a name. And you could even do multiple groupings if you wanted, and these could have different beginning and ending times. And then once you're all satisfied, you're going to click the add meeting. And again, those will show up under that add meeting button. All right, and last but not least, we're going to show you reoccurring meetings. These are always very popular with our student groups. Again, you will do it at the same and end time. Now, say your meetings are always from 6 to 8. And then maybe you want to meet weekly on Mondays. And maybe you want to meet every 2 weeks. You could do something like that. And there is an option for the number of recurring meetings you want to have, or you can select an end by date. So if you do that, just remember it has to be ended by the individual study day of that semester. But as you can see, there's just a variety of options under the reoccurring option that you can use. And again, you click Add Meeting. All right. And there's all the meetings that you have chosen that we're going to work with. So now we're going to go to Sign the Room field. So now it might take a few minutes to load. Sometimes you have to be patient with Ad Astra, so don't give up. You can sort the rooms by clicking on the room column here, and that's going to sort them in alphabetical order. And then if you click it again, it sorts it in reverse alphabetical order. That way, if you're somewhat familiar with a building that you'd like to have your event take place in, you can find it easier by sorting. So let's say maybe you really wanted the science building, then science would show up towards the end. And you take a look at the rooms that are available there. You'll notice there's a little target symbol next to all the rooms. If you hover over that target symbol, it will show you the room features. It shows you how many people the room can accommodate here in capacity, the layout of the room, a description of the room, and then it'll show you the features that are in that room. So for example, if you're looking for a room with certain features, you can check them here. Maybe you want to have food at your event. So you'll see this feature, whether the room allows food or not, or you need a TV or a projector screen, or maybe you want to have a flat floor carpet. Here's where you're going to look for all those various options for the rooms that meet your needs. All right, and from here, if you click on the word available, you'll notice that it turns green and it will say selected. If there are any conflicts with your event, it will show you here. So if you expand the columns where the conflicts lie, you can see those. And then you know to pick an alternate room for those dates. We do ask that you only select the rooms you actually want to reserve. All right. So we're just going to select a couple of rooms for this example so you can see some differences. You'll see that some are showing in Science 10 and that some of them are showing in Math 111. Once you've selected your rooms, click OK, and then they stack neatly here at the bottom under the Add Meeting field. All right, now if everything looks good and you don't want to delete anything and you have all the required fields filled out, you click the Submit button and then the screen will change. So now once you get all that done, let's say you want to look at the status of your event. There are a couple ways to do that. You're going to go back up here to the Events tab and then click on Events. So we're going to go ahead and say, yes, we want to leave this page because we don't actually want to submit that event. All right, now. All right, so from here, we're going to click on Customer Contact, the plus sign in the requester's last name. We're going to type in somebody, we'll use me as an example. We'll type in my last name. we'd click done, and then we'd click this search button at the top. Now, if this is your very first time ever putting a request through Ad Astra, you won't be in the system until your event is actually processed. So, but you could search for your event via keyword, and then same kind of thing, you'd click search. And again, using my request as an example, here you can see the status column that it shows as scheduled. Then you know that your event is scheduled. If it still just shows as requested, you know that you've successfully requested your event, but it hasn't been processed yet. So once it's processed, you're going to receive a confirmation email in the email that you provided to us as the requester. Now, the confirmation email will be blank, but it contains a very important PDF document. So make sure you read over that. Please be sure to open that document. Make sure you go through all the pages of the document. Sometimes the first page could be blank, but the second page is going to could contain some important room information. This confirmation document will tell you all the room information you need for your event. It tells you who to contact in order to gain access to the room. It gives you some IT related information and any other information about the room that you may need. It's very important that you read it. Confirmation emails do come from the person that processed your event, so the approver that logged in and approved your event. So it could possibly come from me. Something else really important to know is sometimes the event confirmation gets sent to your junk mail. So if you haven't received your confirmation email, make sure that you check in your junk mail. Well, that concludes our training on Ad Astra academic space requests. I hope this has been helpful and informative training for you guys, and we wish you all the success in your student organizations this year. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to reach out to our office. We can be contacted at operations.events@ttu.edu. Thanks.